at the most inopportune moments. Like, right? Like today, they take time back. Like when it really doesn't work for us. Like you should take time back. Like rate it, I don't know, the day before or something. Like take time back like some other time and like move time forward like on a Monday at noon so we can get out of there earlier. Whoever people can get out early. Well, what's going on with y'all? Can y'all hear me? Am I good? A Condu, yes, you are here. Let me make sure I'm good on mic because I have a tendency sometime to mess that up. So make sure I'm good on mic. Make sure people can hear me. A couple of announcements before we get into this topic. But Condu, congratulations, the new VIP member. You are the new Tier 1 VIP member, the latest VIP member added. I will be getting your VIP together. Joshua, what's going on? The champ from yesterday's e-racing system is in here. Joshua took first place. But first, let me talk about a Condu VIP member. You are going to get your box. You are going to get your Wolfpack Gold Coin. Means you are definitely a member of the VIP status. Tier 1 has been approved to you, good sir. So congratulations. Get with me. Make sure I have your shipping information. I'm gonna get that shipped out Monday or Tuesday, so you can go have that in hand. By the way, Joshua being in here reminds me of something. Winning first place at our Wolfpack Grudge Racing session yesterday. Listen, everybody, I have went out. I will have spectator mode today. I went out, purchased the Xbox X just for spectator mode. I don't even play games, but I'm going to facilitate a platform that is going to allow my members, allow subscribers, allow VIP members to participate in these races. Once we finally get enough races, I'm going to offer these cash prizes. So I will have spectator mode to give you all a better experience today. Also, that race is going to take place at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Standard Time, all right? Take that how you may. All drivers need to make sure to communicate with me, need to make sure that you're there a little bit early to get into the lobby. We will have a qualifying, and then we will go into the race, all right? So be there for that. That's going to be a good time. It was a good time yesterday. It's going to be even better today, being that I will be able to be on board with several drivers and give you different views throughout the race. It also will be streaming on Twitch. We're going to be on the Wolfpack Twitch and the YouTube today, so everybody should be able to collaborate on that. Also, the album drops November 24th. Flex Up. Go ahead, support that. Go check that out. You know what I'm saying? We're having a good time doing things. I've been doing music for a minute, so we're going to do that. Also, now let's get into this. Okay? We're going to talk about Max Verstappen, some of his comments made in Vegas. We'll have a video coming out tomorrow on Vegas, probably a little bit different than the other videos because I think somebody did it bigger and better. But Max makes some statements in Vegas that kind of coincide with things that I've already been saying about Max in his longevity and or his career in Formula One. I think a lot of people are misunderstanding about how often these things can happen that Lewis and Schumacher accomplished, the things that it takes and or doesn't, and all the different components that are coming into place, okay? I think not saying that Max doesn't have the potential to be great. I mean, he has shown us abilities to drive a car. His ability and talent, and Red Bull has done what they needed to do to supply Max with a very fast car, the fastest car on the grid this season, hands down, no doubt. So really no pressure this season. It's just a runaway. The season before then, definitely very controversial and in factual, a fraudulent season right there that they capped it off. It's sad to say that you do have to look at it like not only because going into that season, I thought it was one of the most exciting seasons going in between two drivers head to head battling it out. There were some controversial things that happened in there. I think people always try to lay this stigmatism. Oh, Lewis Hamilton almost killed Max. Okay, listen, stop it. He did not almost kill Max. These incidents do happen. Max slid across the gravel, hit the barrier. Luckily, his car didn't flip like Joe. Joe literally had a death-defying situation. Grosjean literally had really what we could consider a death-defying situation. But any magnitude, these drivers are risking their lives driving at high speeds, competing at higher levels, and that is a part of what they choose to accept. But no, Lewis didn't set out to kill Max. That was a very fight for the apex. Lewis was more than halfway alongside going into that, and Max definitely had enough space on the outside to go around, but he didn't have the pace and he came down, and we've seen these situations happen. So stop that, because it seems like A lot of people also forget that Max parked his car on top of Lewis Hamilton. And see, somehow people think that having a car bounce off your neck, thank God for the halo, not only in Lewis Hamilton's situation, but in Zhou's situation. So imagine if the halo wasn't there, Max's car's on top of Lewis Hamilton's spine, and that could have killed him. So those situations, you can't deny one and not the other. So to hear people say that Lewis Hamilton almost killed Max, but then Max didn't almost kill Lewis Hamilton, is sickening to me, and it shows how biased and delusional you are. But getting into this, it is not an easy thing to accomplish 7 world championships. As we see, there are only 2 people right now that are holding and sharing that title. By the way, Lewis Hamilton and Schumacher. So we're going to get into some of these things that Max talked about. Let's look at it, because I got some of the quotes right here. So let's take a look at that. All right. So the first thing we'll see right here is that Max is talking about his time in Formula One, and he pretty much goes into saying what he said plenty of times and what I've told you all he said plenty of times. All right. Now, the first one is, he says the first championship was very emotional because you realize you have achieved everything in a sport you wanted to achieve, he says. Okay, notice he doesn't elaborate on that. He doesn't go too far in that, because Max already knows the can of worms, the Pandora box, the slippery slope that exists in that. Max, you would not be a world-time champion even in 2021 had Massey and them not made that mistake. And I get tired of people trying to say, oh, well, if you unlocked all the cars, listen, it's crazy. People literally say this and indict themselves. Well, the only thing Massey did wrong was he didn't unlap all the cars. Yeah, duh. That's one of the things he did wrong. Let's not forget about letting the race go off when I don't think completely the incident was cleared of the track completely. All right. And also, you forget about the lap that the safety car was to complete. And that is true. If you do implement that process all the way through, the race finishes under the safety car, just like we had a race finish under safety car for Max with more than one lap left in a race. Okay. So for you to say the only thing he did wrong, he did something wrong, and it led to a false result in the championship. So therefore, but that's why you got all this controversy about nobody respected. So Max did very good not trying to go into that. The second thing he says is this. The second one, because of the season we have had, is probably more rewarding. It's very different, a different feeling, which I think is great because it would be a little bit boring if they are the same. Max. Okay, listen, it's already, to some people, many people have said boring. I don't think it's been boring. I do understand that the dominance, but listen, my thing is this. If you are seeing Red Bull become a dominant team and you then support that, but then you didn't like the fact that Mercedes was dominant, doesn't that show that you're biased, right? You're biased. Me, I don't mind seeing dominant teams. Be dominant until you can't anymore, period. But I think there's a bit of difference there because a certain driver, and that's why you don't want to see a team dominant. But yet you're seeing Red Bull possibly hit a dominant streak. Not technically yet, not even something we could say 2 seasons is not dominant yet, but people are seeing it. And then you're telling me that you'll be okay, because in order for Max to even reach Lewis Hamilton or Schumacher, that's exactly what Red Bull is going to have to do. All right. And we're going to get into that. So let's go into this next thing that he says. All right. So we get into the next portion of this quote. So then he says, a different feeling, by the way, RB18 this season is the fastest car on the grid, so no pressure. A lot of journalists have already said it. Cool. Different feeling. They're both different, and they are different, but we both have situations in both seasons where there's some controversial things, like the cost cap situation. That's controversial. So I don't know how different feeling that is, besides for the fact that you have the ability to run away on the grid, but yet we have another cloud hanging over another championship that Max has won with the cost cap. And that also stems from 2021. But let's go on down. Winning the first title had a positive effect on Verstappen, blah, blah. Now, right down here, it says you grow as a person every year. You learn a lot from every single year. What was happened every single race. You try to improve as a driver, he says. I don't think you will improve in terms of raw speed. But what? I don't think you improve in terms of raw speed. The RB18 has improved in terms of raw speed. But because of the experience you have had in the past, you try to put that into play in some tricky situations sometimes that you can. Listen, I mean, are we bullshit? Are we trying to bullshit people here? Are we bullshitting people here? The RB18 is literally the fastest car on the grid. FLQ309L. People treat Mert like the Patriots when Tom. Facts. And that is a true thing. And guess what? I'm not indicting anybody because there are a lot of people that do this. I'm just not one. I never wanted to see the Patriots lose. I really wasn't out for that. I wanted to see my team win, the Tampa Bay Bucks, when they played the Patriots. But I wasn't like, oh, I want to see them dethroned just to see them dethroned. If they got dethroned by a better team, I'm all cool with that. A lot of people don't understand that. So a lot of people are just like, yo, is Hamilton in there? I don't like seeing his black face. I hope they lose. Oh, it's Mercedes. I don't care for Mercedes. I hope they lose. Like, if you're dominant, Golden State, be dominant until you can't anymore. I'm cool with that. Nas says, to be world champ, you need more than just talent. The most important attribute is mental strength, being able to dish out year to year to year, your ability to compete against anyone, take the pressure. No, big facts. And that's what I'm about to get into. That is what I'm about to get into, all right? We're about to get into that portion. So let's get to the next portion of a statement made, and then I'm going to get into some other things that I'm going to bring up for you all to see to kind of fine-tune my point. So next, right here on this next statement, our next quote, all right, quote that Max makes, he says this: I don't see myself driving until I'm 40 because I want to do other stuff. Now, I've said several times to you all, Max has repeated this. And I told you all Sebastian Vettel was going to retire. Why? Because I read his body language. I listened to things he said, and all of those things equal to me saying that maybe Seb is not wanting to compete. Although lately he said he can never rule it out, but maybe he's feeling something where he doesn't want to compete. Max has repeated this over and over. I'm having a lot of fun with what I'm doing now, currently Formula One. I'm still in for a few more years. I'm signed until 2028. After that, it depends on how everything is going. I will try to do a few different types of racing as it's important to try different things. Numbers have never been important. I just really enjoy the moment. I really enjoy being part of this team already for a long time, and hopefully also for a long time to come. With all the people we have now, I believe we can be strong for a couple of years. A couple of years. Listen to the way he talks. I see a super chat I might have missed. I got you. Mr. J says you can't improve in terms of raw speed. I smell for red bullshit right there. Mr. J, facts. And listen, this is what I'm telling you all. These are things I pay attention to. Okay, first thing in his statement, he doesn't want to be around until he's 40, right? Right? Next thing in his statement, numbers have never been important to me. Final thing in this statement, I think we could do it for a couple of years. So let me tell you how a couple works. A couple only works one way. Two. Max right there is already saying he only thinks they can do it for a couple of years. Two. Not a few more years. He said he could be with the team a few more years, but only a couple. And let me tell you why that may be more accurately true than anything Max has said in this entire piece that I do agree with. And I'm going to tell you why. Max is done after his current contract. Watch and see. Galacticus. Hey, I'm telling you, I'm with you. And I'm finna tell y'all why. And this ain't no hate. This is just, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And time will tell if I'm wrong. And time also will tell if I'm going to be correct or near target. All right, Max has already signed his contract, as he said in this piece, right? 2028. All right, 2028. His contract, as it sits right now, we could take a look at that. Lewis Hamilton's salary are in US 40 million, okay? Max 25 million, and this is going out to 2028, all right? So Max out to 2028. So let me explain why I do not think, nor am I buying the stock that Max Verstappen right now at this point in time, do I see the trajectory of matching or beating 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton or Schumacher. And this is why. Let's look at this. Okay, Max signs till 2028. At that point in time, and his contract expires at 2028, Max will be 30 years old. 30 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, Max has already said time and time again, he does not plan on doing this until he is 40 years old. He has said it. I do not plan on doing this until I'm 40. Max plans on leaving time for him to do something else in different types of racing, okay? Pay attention to that. No. So he reinforces the right when Lewis says, I ain't going nowhere. Okay, right? Right? So while everybody has been trying to, well, not everybody, many people have been trying to push Lewis into retirement, although Lewis has been collecting podiums this season, has he not, with a subpar car? Has he not? Is that not facts? Is that facts? That is facts. Lewis Hamilton has managed to bring, and along with Russell, up the grid a car that people called a piece of POS at the beginning of the season. Is that not facts? That is facts. Lewis Hamilton is still making podiums at the age of 36 with a subpar car. Is that facts? That is also facts. So what does Lewis Hamilton do once Mercedes gets a competitive car anywhere near the Red Bull vicinity, if they've been able to do this? Well, a few things can happen. Mercedes, Ferrari, and McLaren enter the race, and then races are not so dominant for Red Bull. But don't forget, Red Bull still will progress next year. But this is getting into this. Lewis right now is 37. Alonso is 41. Max doesn't plan on being here until he's 40, all right? So Lewis being 37, Alonso being 41, Max plans on leaving the sport somewhere in between those age groups, supposedly. But his contract is up is when he's 30. So right now, if we count the seasons, Max has 2 documented championships. I'll say it like that just so everybody thinks, feels fair. No hate, no shade. Max has 2 documented championships. His contract's up 2028. Max will have to go on a winning streak for not 1, not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons straight. Max Verstappen will have to go on a 7-season streak in order to meet or match Lewis Hamilton's world titles. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not easy. It's not easy. Now, I understand some people going to say, well, if you got the help of the FIA, which it does seem like, some things are questionable, we're not getting into that. But I'm just going to say, Akondu, what's up? Let me see what you got. Damn. I got you, Akondu Galactica. Sit on there. Let me see what you got. By the way, all haters and everybody might be watching this live stream in the background, not saying nothing. You just sitting, watching, and clocking. Hello, and good morning to you as well. So it says, he'll 2023, Max know he may not win another title once Merc is back. True. Galacticus, Max going to take a leadership role somewhere. Galacticus, I don't know what kind of leader Max will be. Because to me, he don't exhibit leadership traits. Honestly, Max does not like give me any type of leadership trait whatsoever. So back to this. And I know you joking too. So back to this. Max will have to go on a 7-streak winning championships back to back until 2027. That's not easy. He'll have to also keep continuing that streak till 2028 if he plans on getting out of here by the end of this current contract with what he says he's not concerned about. Because remember, he said he's not concerned about numbers. All right? Not concerned about numbers. That's a pretty lengthy contract. All right? So 2028 to exceed the world titles and get the record. 2027 to match Lewis Hamilton and Schumacher for the record. Do you really think Red Bull is going to go on a 7-season world championship winning streak? It's possible. It's possible. A lot of things are possible. But do you really think that is going to happen? If you do, kudos to you. So let me tell you something like this. Michael Schumacher, big shout out to their family dealing with that situation. The Michael, unfortunate accident happened, has rendered that man incapacitated. Positive vibes. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but I do wish more positive energy to the family. Big shout out to Lewis Hamilton. So let's talk about Schumacher. Schumacher won his 7th world title in 2004. All right, FLQ. He ain't got it. He ain't got it. Took him 7 years to get to. Boom. Damn it. You was coming. Hey, there you FLQ. There, thank you very much for saying that. Right. Thank you very much for saying that. It did take Max, when he started, 7 seasons before he won his first title. All right. Before he won his first title, 7 seasons. So listen, it took Schumacher started winning in 1994, his first one. He won his last one in 2004. He missed out 93, 96, 97, 98, and 99. During the course of his career, he went on a hot streak from 2001 to 2004. Okay? Went on a hot streak. So in that entire time, Schumacher missed out on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons where he didn't get a world title. His longest streak was 4 seasons, which Lewis Hamilton would have broken in 2021 had he not got shafted and cheated. He would have won consecutively 5 seasons, I believe. And he would have broke that record instead of matching it, which he can never probably get that back unless all of a sudden they go on a streak from here on out, which would be crazy. But I think that's highly unlikely. I'm keeping it realistic with you here, okay? I'm keeping it realistic. Super Android, what's up? I'm new here, but been a fan of F1 since 2001. Nobody but yourself has explained this off-the-wall performance Red Bull has this year. Appreciate you. Hey, Super Android, I appreciate you. Big shout out to you. Super Android, big shout out to you. By the way, have you all noticed that when Max Verstappen delusional fans come in chat, you realize they got the tramp stamp of Max Verstappen in a profile name, like you don't even want to be yourself. It's like, if you got a profile picture, that's cool, but you literally took the man's name and made it your profile name. Like, that's kind of like comparable to a tramp stamp. So I'm just saying, think about that. But yeah, so check this out. It took Schumacher 10 seasons to do all of the 7 world titles that he has, right? He started winning in 2004. He won his last in 2004. He started winning in 1994. 10 seasons to accomplish 7 world driving championships. Keep that in mind. Now, 14 seasons later, here comes Lewis Hamilton from the time Schumacher started winning. 14 season span. A 14 season span before somebody started winning to even maybe show that they might have a shot at doing this thing, all right? Lewis Hamilton also 7 world driving championships. He started winning in 2008. All right. He missed 2009 through 2013. Think about that. That's 4 seasons he went no world driving championship title. He then missed out 2016, 2021, and now 2022. So think about how many seasons that is that Lewis Hamilton didn't collect a world title in his career span. Think about how many seasons that also is that Schumacher did not collect world titles in his career span. Okay? Lewis Hamilton now 37 years old. His hot streak was 2017 to 2020. Peep that. So you think that Max Verstappen is going to go 6 seasons undisturbed to not only meet and match the 7 world driving championship titles, but also break it? Anything's possible, I heard. But is that likely? Is that likely? Max, you're going to have to be around for a lot longer than 2028 and 30 years old, I'm telling you. So I will tell you like this. I took this number, basically. It took 10 seasons for Schumacher to do his thing. And mind you, remember, don't forget, Schumacher was unlimited like testing, developed tires for him, especially, and teams had to just get along with it. Lewis Hamilton started winning his second season, likely could have won his first. We ain't talking about shoulda, coulda, woulda, though. Second season, one peppered out throughout there, went on a winning streak to equal 7. Keep this in mind. Jay, Max started saying that he will retire early when his battle with Lewis was heating up. Thank you. There is nothing he will hate more than Lewis beating him. He cannot take that. He'll turn into a puddle. I'm telling you, no. Now, listen. This is only a point developed off of what we are seeing from characteristic traits. I do not think Max Verstappen will extend his contract if not only Mercedes return back to being a highly competitive team to battle for the championship, but if Ferrari end up getting their crap together and become a team that their drivers and their drivers that the teams need, and if McLaren returns, I'm telling you right now, Max is not extending his contract beyond 2028. He will exit Formula One likely and do something else. If Red Bull goes dominant, maybe he could probably go ahead and try to run it up. But let me ask you this. What happened with Brady? Brady stayed. Brady lost his family. His marriage is now in a divorce status. He doesn't live the same. He is the GOAT of football as far as quarterbacks. He is the GOAT. All right. Also, got those championships. What have the last 2 seasons looked like for Brady? It's not easy. It's not easy. Brady has, oh, there we go, a tramp stamp. We got a tramp stamp in the chat. Hey, y'all, we got a tramp stamp in the chat. We got a tramp stamp in the chat. If that's not Max, that means you got a tramp stamp. If that's not Max Verstappen, that means you got a tramp stamp. I'm just saying, if Max Verstappen, if you in the chat, hello to you. Hey, hit me up. I'll bring you in on the live. But if that ain't Max, that's a tramp stamp. Do something with yourself. Lewis has already beat him multiple times. Red Bull had to cheat to win 2.5. Hey, and that's how people feel. And I can't deny how people feel. And this is why I can't deny that. Because the cost cap brings a cloud that gives people the opportunity and gives people the right to have the opinion that Red Bull did something to have a disadvantage unfairly amongst their other contemporaries, the other teams. This is just facts that this is out here. It's facts that they broke the cost cap. It's facts that they spent over $1.8+ million. It is also facts that they are supposedly supposed to get a tax credit that we don't know if they actually received to decrease that to 400-some thousand. But the point is, they spent over $1.8 million something dollars. That could have went into development. You don't know. They got a rocket ship. It's the truth. Okay. Eric TB4 Wolf, Tom Brady sounds a little like Lewis. Yeah, they're both great, which is why they both hang together, right? But I would think that even in this season, that Lewis is performing better than Tom Brady with a subpar car. Just saying. Just think about that, Eric. Just think about that. Big shout out there. Just think about that. So then let's say this. Even if, right, you need both. And it's funny to me that people try to discredit Lewis Hamilton because Mercedes provided him with good machinery within the cost cap beforehand. Now the car is subpar, but they still provided him with good machinery. Schumacher had the same thing. Red Bull and Vettel had the same thing. Max has the same thing. So how you discredit Lewis for something that Max is now having is crazy to me. And that makes you delusional. It makes you impartial. It makes you unfair. It makes you biased as hell. I've always said you need to. I don't discredit Max for the team performing and giving him machinery. Max is a good driver, and with good machinery, he should win, just like Lewis Hamilton does with good machinery. But the problem is there are cloudy things that cloud over both championships for Max, and that's unfortunate for him, right? It's unfortunate for him, but I mean, at the same time, people are going to hold you responsible. So it is what it is. But my thing is this. We talking about sheer numbers and performance and what we've seen in the past. How likely is it that Max Verstappen and Red Bull can go on a 6-season run undisturbed and collect world titles? Two great drivers have showed it's not likely. Two great drivers. Now, unless he front loaded by missing 7 years, because Max didn't do shit for 7 seasons. He's 7 seasons in. He's not a rookie. You do know that, right? 7 seasons in, Max wasn't collecting shit. He wasn't collecting shit. He really wasn't even doing that great until he got with Red Bull, which shows getting a better team and a better car can do better things for a good driver. But 7 seasons it took him to get that. Listen, Schumacher is great. Lewis Hamilton is great. They couldn't go undisturbed without missing some seasons. So Max will likely have to race to the age of 34. He will have to go ahead 11 more seasons if he plans on equaling that record and breaking it. He's going to have to be in here a lot longer than damn 2028 when he turns 30. He's going to have to be in here another 4 to 5 years if that's something that he's really legitimately wanting to do, right? That's what we're going to have to do. That's what we're going to have to do. So, yes, Right now, the RB18 is a rocket ship. Mercedes car, literally, trap speeds were the slowest in COTA. The slowest. It's been called the slowest in several sectors. Like, listen, people, be for real. Be for real with yourself. And if you can't be for real with yourself, it's okay if you are indeed, if you're delusionally in a relationship with Max Verstappen and that's what you like to do and you just want to, believe these things, but you ain't talking facts. Like, people will get in the chat and won't list any facts or stats. They won't do that because they know if they start doing that, then they have to counter or make a counter argument for their own argument. Schumacher, 19 seasons. Lewis, 15 seasons. Max, 7 seasons. So Max not continue after contract. Lewis said he's having fun and not leaving. And he shouldn't. And listen, he's competing. He's competing. He's getting podiums. He has 190 podiums right now on record. Like, it'd be different if Lewis was like Alonso. Alonso isn't doing this. He's not doing this. Seb isn't doing this right now. Lewis Hamilton is still doing this. So don't count Lewis out. Don't count Charles out. Don't count McLaren out. Also, you might lightweight not be able to count. Ooh, it's going out on a limb. Nah, I'm going to leave it at that. Don't count McLaren, don't count Ferrari, and don't count Mercedes out. I can say that. Let's not forget FLQ 309. Let's not forget the FIA changed multiple rules to slow Merc down, banning party mode. That is a fact. All right, that is a fact. Those things did indeed lead to slowing them down. Right. We've also seen the fact that the FIA worked alongside with Red Bull to create a standard check for a competitor's car. That's not something you should be doing. That's not something you should be doing. Like, no, you shouldn't be doing that. Baraka, to be real though, in those 7 seasons while being a decent aerodynamically car, Red Bull with Renault engine was subpar. Thank you, Baraka. Facts. And I've already said it. They have to attribute partnering with Honda was one of the best things they did, right? But this also goes to show. Now, keep this in mind. Also goes to show what you need in order to have dominance. You need a good driver, good car, good team. Trifecta. The triangle has to work. Good team, strategies, all that. Good team, good machinery, good driver. You need the triangle in order to duplicate or create such said successful, great careers. You need that. This is not exclusive to Lewis Hamilton. It's not exclusive to Schumacher. It's not exclusive to Vettel. All right. I named them because they have multiple. They have more than 2 world titles. Right now, Max only has equal number of world titles as Alonso. Oh, my bad. Alonso. Well, let me try it again. Alonso. All right. He's got 2 world titles. Also, kind of similar to Alonso, very controversial. So you cannot call Max great and not call Lewis Hamilton great. You cannot call Max great and not call Seb great. You cannot call Max great and not say Schumacher is great. They did what they did. They were great at what they do. And Lewis right now is still doing it. It's only idiots that try to say Lewis Hamilton is not great with everything he's accomplished while calling Max great and hasn't accomplished damn near 5 or 10% of what Lewis has. Just saying. Just keeping it real while the rest of y'all keep it faking with the frills. I mean, hell, if you want me to give you $2 instead of $7, hell, I'll gladly make you my employee. All you Max fans that say 2 is better than 7. If you like that, I'll make you my employee because paying you will be great for me. It will be great for me to pay you since you like taking lesser value. Max has only accomplished 28% of what Lewis Hamilton has thus far in his career. We will wait for the rest. I'm not saying that Max can't be great. I think that it's possible that he could, but we'll have to see. But what I am saying to you is the other greats that sit at the top right now all had seasons where they did not collect world titles. And if Max plans to do that, it's going to have to extend beyond 2028. That is my main point. They changed pit stop rules on Red Bull party mode for Mercedes. Thank you, Eric. That is called keeping it fair. Listen, what Eric is saying is not exclusive to one team or the other, right? because all teams, like, look at this. Aston Martin will not have this rear wing that they developed this season that is a gray area in the regulations, that which meant no wing was literally supposed to have an end plate. Aston Martin figured out a way to incorporate an end plate, but try to stay within the gray area confines of the regs. And now that wing will be banned next season, but they get to use it this season. So why do you not say anything about that, but want to try to talk about DOS? I mean, do you really want to go back to when Williams had active suspension? Do you want to go back there? Because you can. And they went for dominant streaks. Like, they have one of the highest numbers of World Constructor Championships collected. They did it. It happens in Formula One. Teams develop situation, develop tech, and then the FIA come in and say, we really didn't mean for this to happen. We're going to ban it next season. You can use it the rest of the season because technically it wasn't illegal, but we see where things can get kind of crazy, and we're going to cap it. These things happen. For people to try to act like it's exclusive to Lewis Hamilton first and Mercedes, you're crazy. You're crazy. Don't forget the development or the reconstruction of the beam wing that Red Bull initiated that technically wasn't outlined that way, but I agree with it. I do. I agree with they set it up. It was kind of still two components, but they were set up to act as one. Red Bull said, hey, we're going to separate them, put them in two different areas. Hey, it's a good idea. I don't think it was illegal. I don't think it should be banned. Cool. But other teams will get to duplicate it. Stop playing with me. Stop playing. So yeah. We will do, let me tell you, like, let me tell y'all this. With all the big situation going on with people having anti-Semitic things saying and people doing things, I definitely think that when you say things like that, it makes you a dumbass. And I don't really want any dumbasses in here that might offend people, because I'm going to tell you, my community is diverse, not only black, white, but different people of different walks in life. And I'm not going to facilitate anybody saying something that might offend one of my brothers or my sisters in my community, whether you're a subscriber or a viewer. So with that being said, Tramp Stamp, have a good day. You out of there. Appreciate you. Appreciate you very much. But yeah, we're not doing that. We definitely not doing that. So yeah, have a good, stand in the corner. Stand in the corner. There you go. So anybody else want to say something that might be that disrespectful? Like, you want to say something about the drivers, as far as like, hey, they can't drive worth shit, like Alonso tried to say about Lewis Hamilton not being able to drive from the back of the grid when it was clearly untrue and not factual. Cool. You want to say you don't like said driver. You want to say maybe even you think the driver's a dumbass. Cool. You don't like team. But what I won't deal with is when you start coming in here with things that could disrespect people in the community on a whole nother level. You don't even know the drivers of teams, right? But we deal with each other in here, and I ain't gonna deal with that. So yeah, y'all can kick rocks on that. So if anybody else want to try me on that, you're welcome to. But my main thing is to protect people in the community that want to have a good time, have some good, healthy debate, whether I agree with it or not. There's several people I disagree with, and it's funny. Sometimes we end up agreeing. That's what happens in life. Cool with that, but we're not gonna do that. So yeah. Galacticus, McLaren had 2 brake pedals to corner faster. Thank Galacticus. Thank you. There are all types of developments that happen that can be called controversial and that the FIA do something about, right? But the FIA kind of are losing a lot of respect from a lot of people that support different teams. All right. Different drivers. Things are not looking good. They're not doing things really correctly or as transparent as they said they would do. And a governing body needs to be held to a higher standard if they're going to be a governing body, right? That's something that we should do. So, hell yeah, definitely here. So just, I want to also let y'all know something else. This platform that I have created, this platform that you all have helped build, this platform that you are a part of, I'm not always going to say things you agree with. I'm going to have my opinion, and I respect your opinion. But one thing that this platform does do and agree on is that everybody is character over color and people over politics. I talk to you all on a damn near a daily basis. I have more respect and regard for you than I do any driver or any team. Just saying. I know McLaren called me. I know I went there and I got to do all that. But even with that said, you all are still held in a higher regard for me than McLaren or any other team that may call me. All right. So we also have other platforms that talk down on us because I like diversity in my community. I like the fact that I don't have everybody that looks like me. I have everybody that comes from different walks like me. I enjoy that because it brings different conversations. It brings different ideas. It makes us stronger together than separated. Like, it's crazy that people on other platforms will hate on us because it's a diverse platform with a community of diverse people. That is sickening to me. It is sickening to me. See, I get on some personal shit when people talk about that. It's sickening to me. I don't agree with that, right? I like everybody here to be different, have different opinions, and to be able to voice those opinions, but we got to do so with certain respect between each other and not involve racism or anti-Semitic type situations. We have to be careful of that, and we need to be respectful of that because we're not all the same religion, and some of us are not religious. So we try, we talking about driving, racing in our life here, like, if you want to. By the way, the Discord is probably going to happen. I'm going to let y'all know that now. And also, don't forget, the race will begin at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, yes, my main thing is I do not think Max and Red Bull will go on an undisturbed 6-season run to meet 7 world titles or exceed 7 world titles. It is possible. I just don't think it's likely. I don't think it's likely, but it could happen. And if it does happen, it's one of those things that happens and will probably be one of the greatest things that also will be some controversial things to talk about. But if you think about it, how many great things that do take place don't have some type of controversy around them, right? So if Red Bull can go on an 8-season undisturbed winning streak, sheesh, without a bunch of if every season has a bunch of controversy that's legitimate, because what happened in Abu Dhabi is legitimate. That's legitimate. What happened with the cost cap, they broke it. That's legitimate. I'm not talking about that. That's things you don't want to happen. Other things that happen, like they develop something and then it gets banned. Okay, that happens. That's okay, cool. They found a gray area. They developed something that happened. Look at Ferrari. Do y'all agree with what Ferrari did? Ferrari cheated the system, had an audit, got fined, and didn't develop or disclose what the findings were. If you don't agree with that, then you definitely shouldn't agree with the Red Bull situation. Just saying. If that's the case, birds of a feather flock together. Galacticus. McLaren had 4 pedals. First was gas to where brakes. The fourth was a clutch. It was only used for 2 races. Then it was banned by the FIA. Hey, listen, that's another thing. Y'all got to be careful. In my community, I got some people that got some knowledge, some profound knowledge, like Galacticus, like Null, like some profound knowledge on Formula One. No bullshit. Profound knowledge on Formula One. So I don't always have to rely on myself. I got people that are like damn near encyclopedias in here. Don't be glad Dave's not in here. If Dave was in here too, you definitely gonna have some smoke. Thank you, Jay. Character in sports also applies to life. Sportsmanship and decency don't have to suffer because of Thank you, Nall. Big facts, Queen. Big facts. That's why Nall is a legend. And let me tell you this: listen, if I don't see my family members here after a while, I just hit Big Hurt up. I just hit him up because I haven't seen him in the chat in like weeks. Big shout out and positive vibes to him. Found out his family is ill. They're under the weather. Sending him positive vibes. That's what I do. Like, if I realize I don't see somebody after a while, it's not why they not here. I'm wondering, is that person okay? It's just like if you go to work and you see an employee and all of a sudden they gone like for 2 weeks. Well, damn, y'all been working together for so long. You don't think to call and check on that person? I have clients in my business where if they don't show up, I send a sick call. I send a cop over to one of my clients' house to check and see if they were okay. That's the type of person I am, right? But I get criticized for being that type of person. That's crazy when people do that. Eric Wolf, we don't see eye to eye about some stuff. True, Eric, we don't, but I respect you, bro. But we can agree there is no room for hate. Thank you, Eric. We can. We just need to help each other, uplift, motivate, encourage, love, and try to see some from the point of view. Eric, thank you. I totally agree. And you're right. Me and Eric don't always agree. We don't. And it shows in the chat. But I respect Eric as a person. And I'm not going to disrespect him personally. And we get heated and go back and forth. But that's healthy debate. That's healthy debate. That's what you should have in a community, right? I want people in the community that are not always going to agree. That's cool to me. I'm cool with that all day long. I'm cool with that all day long. I'm not even lying to you. But at the end of the day, I don't want to disrespect Eric personally. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to attack him personally. Let's keep it on debate. If anything, if Eric is going through something and I happen to find out because another subscriber says, hey, yo, you know that dude Eric who be in the chat, something happened to him, I want to be able to be in a positive space to send Eric out positive vibes to say, hey, man, hey, if whatever going on, if I got to do it in a live chat because we're not connected on social media, I hope everything with Eric and his family are okay. That's the type of person y'all fucking with right here. For real. Dodge man. Been watching F1 since 78 from my dad's lap. That's what I'm talking about. OG status with Dodge man. That's OG status, y'all. Come on. We got people in here that have been watching Formula One for decades. Decades. And that's what I like. Big fact. So everybody, listen. Big salute to Eric for that. And salute to Nall, because Nall always going to come with a banger. Nall going to come with a banger. Galactic is going to come with some facts. Dodge Man, Mary Beanie. Shit. We got Kirk just joined the family. We just our tires just got to Joshua. Showed y'all that he opened up those tires. Big shout out to him in the season. He's participating in the e-racing I got going on. We're doing big different things over here. I wanted to be a family affair, for real. Eric says, honestly, if Red Bull does go on an 8-year championship run, I'll only be okay with it if it's not a full out dominant. Each year needs to be close. And and Eric, I will say this. I see what you're saying, right? But me, I'm like this. If they do, I'm cool with it. But I understand what Eric is saying is this. No, I can understand why people, let's say, even if they do go on a dominant run, I would prefer that it be a dogfight. Like, if it's an all-out dogfight and Red Bull just happen to come out on top by the skin of their teeth, that's exciting. That's what we want to see, like competition. Competition. There's a lot of people this season that stopped watching Formula One, not because they didn't like Red Bull or even because they like Mercedes, because some of them didn't even like Mercedes. I got people that message me say, I'm not even watching Formula One. I just get on and check out your content to kind of know what's going on because I already know Red Bull's going to win. That's what you don't want. And what Eric is kind of talking to in some of his statements is a healthy battle is very watchable for all of us to not know what the outcome may be when that checkered flag is waved. That's what it is. No, says this one is for Morrow. Rest in peace. Fighter, remarkable man, and engineering for Ferrari who has passed this week. Big shout out. Matter of fact, moment of silence for that person and his family. Boom. I don't have to know him. I don't have to know them to show respect. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing about what they do, what they don't do, what they have done. All I'm saying is this. When people lose somebody and somebody loses their life, even if you don't care for the person, what about the people that have nothing to do with what that person has done? And a moment of silence or respect for those who have lost somebody near and dear to them is never a bad thing, right? It's never a bad thing. It's not saying you support things they did or you don't even know their family. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what people might have going on in their life. So listen, showing a little respect and some humility is never going to be bad for you. Put positive energy out and therefore you may receive positive energy back. FLQ, Wolf, are you going to cover... I don't know. I'll consider it. I'll consider it. I've considered it, but I don't know. I'm really kind of thinking Indy, maybe, but I'll consider it, man. Because trust me, I get up early in the morning to try to do and prepare for things to bring y'all this. So I got to keep my plate straight because I don't want to get too fragmented and then quality start really suffering somewhere. But I'll consider it, definitely. Mr. J says there's a difference between working a gray area and breaking the rules. Facts, Mr. J. Facts. The gray area is fine. I have no problem. But breaking the rules like safety car and cost cap is unacceptable. Mr. J ain't saying nothing that's not true. Some of y'all just don't want to hear it because then it really puts a light on what's wrong with what certain teams are doing. That's just a fact. They're not saying nothing that's not true. Just think about it, right? Just the old saying goes, put yourself in their shoes and you see if you would like that if it was coming your way. Like Zach Brown wrote the letter. You tell me if you owned a team, spent millions and millions and millions of dollars to compete, did everything by the rules, trying to find out why you can't catch up. And then you find out said team broke the rules by exceeding the cost cap by $1.8 something million, which technically could be what? Shit. 6 different floors, or if they wanted to spend in that upgrade or other areas. Yeah, that's not good. That's not proper. That's not good to do. Picture yourself going to a natural bodybuilding competition. You fly up there across state. You spent $1,200 to go in. Next thing you know, you come in second to somebody, and next thing you know, they pop for steroid usage. How you feeling about that? Yeah, they're going to give you the trophy, but I mean, you feel bad because on stage, you didn't get to have your moment that you should have rightfully had that person not broke the rules. Same thing goes what happened in Abu Dhabi. I don't think Lewis Hamilton even would want to accept the award if it was reversed this long and removed from then, because you've already robbed a person of their experience that they should have had rightfully with the championship, right? Not saying that they can't and they shouldn't. We just saw that they reinstated Alonso's position after investigation and they said it was wrong. You already said Abu Dhabi was wrong, so why you didn't go back and reverse that? To just have integrity as a governing body. Wrong is wrong. Eric says, I feel like in 2024 or 2025, we will get one of the best F1 seasons ever. Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, +1. Hey, Eric, I've been saying the same thing, bro. I've been saying the same thing. Eric, I've been saying the same thing, man. Facts. I've been saying the same shit. I'm telling you, it could be an all-out war. I don't know if it happens 2023, so I'm kind of with Eric with 2024, 2025. McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, it could be crazy. We could have an epic season, and I just hope with an epic season, it's not ruined with bullshit. That's all I want. Don't ruin it with bullshit. Governing body, don't screw it up. Just be consistent, enforce the rules as they need to be, keep the teams aware of this, and weed out the bullshit so we can have an epic season and not have to talk about damn controversial shit like this to this magnitude. It's okay that we want to debate, well, they had this development and this got banned and that development, but it's not okay that we got to talk about something that happened like in Abu Dhabi, that we got to talk about, damn, the cost cap, they breached it. Like, that ruins it for us as viewers as well, because you rob us of being able to view epic seasons. That's what you're doing. Let me see another super chat. I got you, Eric. Galacticus. WRC, I know rally cars extreme. I know. Those jumps are epic. And listen, the speeds in which they travel with a two-person team and navigating through some of those narrow-ass, man, world rally car is straight legit. I'm not debating that. I like rally car. It's just that I don't watch it much. I do like it when I do watch it. And I watch XE, which is basically rally car electric. And it's two-person teams, a female and a male, switch outs. If y'all haven't watched it, watch it. I might incorporate that a bit more than rally car. But like I said, I'll see. Yes, sir. That is facts. Galacticus. So yeah, those are some fantastic drivers. Salute to Rally Car and Extreme E. Thank you very much. That's what I was just saying, Galacticus. I'm telling you, salute to all the Rally Car drivers. Also, hoping to see more things develop with the W Series. Very unfortunate about the money situation. I really think somebody needs to step in and financially support that. If not, I think there needs to be a better program. No, don't need to be a better program. You need to allow these women that have proved themselves as drivers come sit in a seat and prove to you that they can or they can't, just like any other driver. You need to allow people that are race-inspired drivers to sit in a seat and earn their way rightfully, just like all other drivers, just like drivers should. And if proven, regardless of that person's sex, regardless of that person's preferences, regardless of that person's anything, if they can drive, they're a good person. They're not out here being racist, sexist, doing hate speeches. They can drive and they're a person and they can work with a team. Give that person a seat. Stop playing games. Stop playing games. For real. Some of you teams are not battling for anything right now, just legitimately true. Why do you not take the opportunity to let some of these W Series drivers come in and see what they got on an F4, F3 level, F2 level? If you need to see, because they got to come up through the ranks like other drivers, cool. Give them that opportunity. Eric, Mercedes needs to start listening to the God damn, Eric. Boy, you on a roll. Eric ass on a roll. He done came in this motherfucker hot. They can't just listen to the computer and data anymore. Shit, Eric might get damn best goddamn super chats of the fucking super chat this season. Eric, you are not lying about that. You are on point. On point. They do. They gotta like, and another thing, Eric and everybody else, Mercedes has to get out of their own way. I know they make these decisions and they like, we gonna live or die by them. But sometimes you gotta come out of a decision you thought was good and change to something else. Like you went into those hard tires and they sucked, and you didn't want to come out of them. Listen, you got to do insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome or result. You're borderline going insane, Mercedes, with some of the things you're doing. I want all drivers to bury Max and Red Bull in the race today. Hey, don't y'all listen to Wildcat. Let me tell y'all something. Wildcat likely might be driving for a team that you all do not expect today. Wildcat, you funny. You funny, bro. I'm wishing you much luck. Like, if you don't know, today we're going to have an E-race. It's going to be streamed live on the YouTube channel and Twitch. Anybody that's a subscriber or a family member can enter. You just need to send me your driver profile. I will hand it over to Wildcat. He will send you a request, and you can join the race today. We're not going to race until 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There is still time if you want to. Now, by the time 12 o'clock comes, 30 minutes from now, if you have not entered, I'm not going to worry about it because we already have a lot to do and get around. But Eric, big ups. Big ups for that. Let me see. I see somebody else super chat. I'm not going to miss you. Wildcat. Big ups to you too, bro. And let me see who else we got in here. Danny B. The only way Red Bull goes on a multi-year run is if the FIA continue to make changes, rules as we go. So I guess it is possible. And let me say this, Danny B is not wrong for saying what they're saying because of what they've seen thus far this season. He got a point, right? And that's what I mean by the governing body doing better to remove themselves from said clouds and controversies and things that shadow people's accomplishments. That's what we don't want. So they need to do a better job as a governing body. That is big facts. So listen, I got to go get ready, try to get with Wildcat, all the drivers. Joshua will be returning. He won yesterday. We're going to see what happens today. We have more drivers driving today. All drivers get with us 12:30. All right, I think we'll open the lobby. Wildcat will probably open the lobby 15 minutes to 30 minutes prior so people can start coming in. We're going to go live. You're going to see a qualifying bout for at least 10 minutes. And then we're going to have the race. I think the race is going to end up being like 28 laps or so. So be ready for that. And be here to have a good time with us. Like, we finna have a good time. There's no race this week, but we're making our own race. And that's what we're doing. I just literally spent the money so I could do spectator mode for you all and give you all a better experience. Like, that's how serious and passionate I am about the quality of product that I try to bring to you all. No bullshit. Like, you want to know what I invest in? I invest in this platform to do better for you all. Like, no bullshit. By the way, let me see who else we got in there. Big ups to Wildcat on that. And then, excuse my ignorance. What is this E-race business? So, we're putting on our own races here at Wolfpack, all right? So, subscribers and family members can send their gamer tags and we add them to the race, and we have our own Formula One race. We did it yesterday and we're going to do it today. It's another way for us as family, as subscribers, as a platform to be more involved with each other and have a good time. So I already started the Twitch. So Wolfpack Performance has a Twitch as well. Okay. You can watch it on the Twitch, or you can watch it here at YouTube. We're going to be diversifying and growing the platform across other streaming avenues. So we're going to incorporate this because I think it's important. A lot of our viewers do e-racing, and I want to provide something for you all to be able to contribute here to the platform and have a good time with your other family members. So listen, send your gamer tags over. If you're too late in the live chat and I can't see it, or Wildcat can't see it, send it to me via Twitter, IG, or you can message me Wolfpack F1 on the EA Sports program or Xbox. Wolfpack F1. Send us the gamer tags. I'm cutting it off at 12. That's an hour from the time we're going to race. There's too much for us to get together to be worried about trying to add new people. Send your gamer tags. Look for us. TH3 Wildcat is also his gamer profile, unless Wildcat with the lowercase and uppercase L, no I. So it's WLLDCAT, all caps, TH with the 3 as the E, okay? So Wildcat, if you could put your gamer tag in here so other people can see that. Look for us. We about to have a good time. In about an hour and a half time, I'm going to be back live stream for the race. I am the spectator, and Joshua is returning as the champion from yesterday. He won first place yesterday. Wildcat had a good start off the line. Joshua capitalized on a mistake that Wildcat made, and from there he ran away in the W13 with the race. So okay, I see Super Android right there. We got you. Let me write you down real quick. Wildcat, if you can take note of that and add Super Android to the friends list and send them a request when it's time, so that they can also join the race. So I got Super Android pound 873. I got your tag down. I'm gonna make sure as soon as I hop off here, I will put it into the system, send you a request for a friend request, and then from there, we will add you when we start the lobby so that you can come in and participate in the race. What's the last race from yesterday? The last race from yesterday, we did that in Brazil. Today, we're gonna do Abu Dhabi. You will see it. It's up there on one of the live videos. I think it's one of the heading videos. Wolf, is not the race clear? Subscribers allowed. Yes. Yeah. Subscribers are also allowed. Subscribers are allowed, and Wolfpack family members are allowed. If you're an official member, if your name is highlighted in green, you're definitely allowed. But if you're also a subscriber and you're viewing this, that means you also can. So if you have a gamer tag, put it up here. We can add you in. Eric, run Super Android 18 is coming. Hey, y'all, hey, we might have a ringer. Eric said we might have somebody in there that ain't gonna play no games. We're gonna see what Super Android do. We are streaming it live, so everybody will be able to see what the sauce is gonna be, Eric. We'll see what he does. We'll see. So let me see, Galacticus. Anybody else want me to take down their gamer tag before I get off here? It's the best place for you to do it. I got somebody that's been trying to work with me through Twitter, but they can't seem to get everything together, so they might not make it. But Super Android, I'm going to put you in as soon as I get off. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? Going 3 times? Peace and love. I will see you momentarily for the Formula One Grudge, Wolfpack Grudge Racing, all right? It's called F It Grudge Racing. If you see me on Twitch, you'll see that it's F It Grudge Racing, okay? All right, I will see you all soon. Peace out. Peace and love. Y'all be safe.